Well, students, today we're going to be working from observation. I will put up on the screen these different owls, and you can pick any one of them to do. This one, well, some of these I would do the tall way. So like for probably this one, and this one, I would go the tall way. With this one and this one, I would go the long way with your paper. They'll fit on easier, especially with this one because you would be drawing both owls. So the trick here first is to make sure that you draw it big. Please make it really big. I'm gonna draw this one as the example today. So I'm gonna start just by drawing a line, and I'm gonna draw it lightly so I can change it. And then I'm gonna look for another line, I'm gonna draw it. Then I'm gonna look for another line, I kind of see this line of feathers that kind of goes around the neck of the owl. And then I see this line kind of comes down to the branch. And then this even looks almost like a little bit of the wing. And then I see the branches here. So we'll bring that into this because I see that its claws or talons are over top of that. And then there's some right here, even though there's a couple of feathers that are over top. And then I see the bottom part of the branch. And then I'm seeing a couple of the feathers right here, and then these ones kind of come down, make kind of an oval shape for the tail, and almost are separated just a little bit. Now that I have the general shape down and I made sure that my owl is really big, now I'm gonna start putting the details in. So I kind of see this line of feathers around the eyes. Owls are nocturnal, so they see well at night. So I would probably make the eyes the focus. So those are kind of the feathers that go around it, and then I'm seeing the eyes are here, and there's a little dot inside there. And then I'm seeing kind of this diamond shape of feathers here, and the beak is right here. Then I'm seeing some feathers that kind of come off to the side here. And then I'm seeing these little curvy, fluffy lines. He looks like a soft owl. So I'm gonna carry those lines down. Now I'm noticing that these feathery lines are kind of curvy here, but they're kind of a different shape on the body of the owl. So these ones are kind of like curves, kind of like waves. These ones look more triangular. The feathers that are on the body, to me, look more like long, skinny triangle shapes. So I keep looking for a line, and then I draw it, I look for another line, and I draw it, I look for another line. So please continue to look up at the screen, so you're trying to make it look as real as you can. I'm drawing it faster than you're gonna probably draw it. So don't feel like you need to go this quickly. And then I'm seeing some of these feathers down here, those here. I see these are kind of a ruffly shape. I see some that are here. See that it's kind of in a shadow right here under this branch. It's a little darker from the sun not being able to get to those feathers under there because the branch is in the way. Once you have the shape of your owl, you've put the details in, then you do need your background. So even if it's this one, you would put the mountains that are in the background and this snowy hill that he's standing on. And this one, you would put this log or this rock in here and some of the details back there. This is the only one that doesn't have a background, but I'm gonna show an example on here that if it doesn't have a background, I would like you to make probably a horizon line and some details. This one, you'd get all of these branches and leaves, and then you could make like a night sky because it's really dark behind there. So now that I have this done with this one, I do see this branch here that has some leaves on it. I see this tree that's back here. And I see the lines and the textures on this branch, some knots in the wood. Now, if you can't really see the background or have enough detail for your background, you can take ideas of observation of things that you've seen before. One of the things that we've talked about with these owls, especially like a snowy owl, the Native American group that we're studying is called the Inuit, and they're from Alaska, and Alaska has lots of mountains. So you could put, if you can't see your background, you could make some mountains with some snow on them. You could make some things that are really far away, like maybe some little trees that could be far away, or hills and rivers. Sometimes you could put a little bit of a river, a lake through here, maybe a rock that's in the water. So he's like standing on a tree, and this is the tree that's behind there. But then he's standing like right in front of a rushing river. And then these things, we've talked about foreground, middle ground, and background. The things that would be closer, like maybe these bushes that I put in the foreground, because I can see some green there. Some of those details are gonna be bigger because they're closer. Let's put another, I'm gonna erase this part of the tree. We'll put a bush that's in front of it, so it looks like the tree here that's in that space. So I'm still trying to make it look real, take ideas from observation, but since it's a little tricky to see some of the background, you can just take ideas from things that you've seen before. Then don't forget to do your sky. Owls are often out at night, so I'm probably gonna draw a moon. Often I'll make stars, and I'm just gonna keep them simple with some circles that look like they're shining with some broken lines. Adding some clouds. I might even stack these clouds up so it looks like there's a few clouds that are behind each other. Maybe a couple other stars that are shining in the sky. I do like to do, maybe I'm gonna have a cloud that's tucked in between the moon here. I do like to make a little bit of wind sometimes, so I could do that. So there's just still ideas from observation because I have seen stars and clouds and wind before, or felt it before. Now, if you get this all done and you did your whole owl from observation, you can raise your hand and I will give you a marker to start outlining it. Next week we will finish outlining it, so you don't have to do all of that today. So it's just gonna take a while to make sure that everything looks as real as you can make it. So next week I'll show you the rest of the outlining, but don't forget with your marker that you would trace in each of these feathers. So all of your feather lines, all of your details, you would get all of those carefully traced in. And sometimes when I'm doing the marker part, that's when I start adding even a little bit more detail where like this line looks darker, so I might make it kind of a thicker line to give it a little bit more detail and depth, so you can have some thin lines and some thicker lines. And I've had students ask, well, Mr. Jackson, am I supposed to trace all the feathers? Yeah. Are you supposed to trace the background? Yep. So you would trace out each of your pencil lines, and then next week we'll finish any of the outlining and we'll do some shading on it to make it look even more real. So just pretend that I've got that done, and then next week I'll show you the rest. So let's have fun working on these owls from observation.